Welcome back, everybody, to some more Atlanta Hawks My GM. We are here to check out and pretty much recap and do the entire offseason for the Atlanta Hawks My GM. This is episode number 13, I believe. So checking out the stats to finish out the season. McPorter, 16 points, 6 rebounds. Schroeder, 14 points and 6 assists. I mean, you can check the per 36 minutes here. Blake goes up a little bit. Aiden, double numbers. John Collins, pretty close, 11 and nearly 9. Chris Dunn actually put up 10 points per game for us. Bogdanovich was pretty good off the bench. So was Costa, probably my favorite surprise, maybe my favorite player on this team. Luke Kennard did his thing when he got a chance. Mario Hazonia, Super Mario. And there are the rest of the players not really getting a lot of time. As far as efficiency goes, I mean, a guy like Porter wasn't as efficient from the field as I had hoped. Schroeder was pretty good from the field. Aiden, obviously, under the basket, so Blake Griffin as well. And John Collins. Chris Dunn is really good from the field. Bogdanovich was 42%, nearly 43%, not great. For our shooter, one of our shooters from the 3-point line. I think we gotta improve our 3-point scoring over the next year. Gotta get some guys who can knock them down. Chris Dunn was knocking them down, but Hazonia was okay at it. Not taking a lot of them though. And minutes per game, Blake Griffin, Michael Porter Jr., Dennis Schroeder, DeAndre Aiden, Chris Dunn leading the team in minutes per game. Raul Neto actually surprisingly getting 10 minutes. Opponent field goal percentage allowed. Costa was probably our best defender throughout the season. Plus minus, anybody with a positive plus minus. We have nobody. Nobody that really played. So, moving on from that, here is I have no idea what we're about to do. Oh, here's the All-Star. We didn't get any All-Stars this year. That is all good. I have a feeling we will have a couple in the years to come. Obviously didn't make the playoffs. We tried to fight for the 8th seed, but we finished 9th. So let's simulate the playoffs, see who is moving on. Timberwolves, Spurs, Warriors, Pelicans, Sixers, Bucks, Cavs, Pacers. So, alright, 2K, you're doing your thing, I guess. Let's see if it'll be 6. Oh, it's Cavs, Bucks, and Warriors. And the Cavs have Mike Conley, Rodney Hood, LeBron James, Kevin Love, Brooke Lopez, Larry Nance, Jordan Clarkson, George Hill, Tristan Thompson. That's not a bad team. And then for the Bucks, obviously, not much different than usual. They added Steph Curry, but not really anything different than what they've had. And then the Warriors, I mean, we know all about them. Nick Richards, their center right now. Okay. They added Dave Nwamba, but not much is that different. For the Timberwolves, I mean, Jeff Teague, Jimmy Butler, Michael Beasley, a new guy for them. Not too much different there either. And the Warriors and the Bucks in the finals, I think we know who's going to win this. Yep, 5-game series. Who will be able to slay the Warriors in years to come? Moving on now to player retirements. Did we have anybody retire? Doesn't look like it. So we can move on from that. Hall of Fame, Vince Carter. Vinsanity makes it into the Hall. So good for him. League expansion. Yes, we are going to add 2 new teams. Implement possession arrow, place of jump after opening to... I don't really care. Reject it just in case. But yes, we are going to add 2 new teams to the league this upcoming year. So that adds a whole new element to all of this. As now there will be 32 teams in the league. Now we have to kind of make sure everything's in the kind of right conference. Northwest for the Sonics, that works. And the Pittsburgh Force. Yes, the Seattle Supersonics are coming back. And now we have added a team, the basketball team, to Pittsburgh. one of the most notorious teams for football and for hockey. So, I mean, should we put them in the Atlantic or leave them in the Central? I mean, they're kind of close to. I really don't know. And move the Raptors to the Atlantic and switch the Cavs over back to the original position they were in. So the Raptors will now be in the Central because there's not enough room for them in the Atlantic anymore. Sorry, buddy. Anything else that really has to be changed here? Not really. So, moving on to the draft lottery. Let's see. Right now, we are projected to get the 14th overall pick. I would not be surprised if that's where we end. Oh, 16th. Excuse me. So we do end up getting the 16th pick because obviously teams like the Hawks and the Force have to jump up. And we will skip the results. The Hornets get the first, the Suns get the second, and the Clippers get the third. The Sonics with the fourth, and the fifth goes to the Pittsburgh Force. So we finish with the 16th overall pick. Staff signings. I think it's time. Oh, Vince Carter's there. I think it's time that we honestly move on from Jason Kidd. He's got good potential, but I mean, I want a coach who's going to be able to take us to the next level. Maybe Jason Kidd is the guy before the guy, you know? He is the Mark Jackson of our team. So I'm sorry to do this to you. There's my buttonholes, our old coach. I'm sorry to do this to you, Jason Kidd, but I'm pretty sure we are going to fire you and find ourselves a new head coach. We can promote Trent Peterson, but there's also Michael Stuffer. Who else is available? There's Tyronn Lue. Tom Thibodeau. I don't know. Who should we get? I want somebody with good potential, but who's also pretty good right now. There's not too much going on here. There's Vince Carter. Oh, that's not that good though. C, D, and B plus. That's maybe we go with Stuffer here. We'll offer him a pretty decent deal. 2 years, nearly $6 million. See if he's interested. He's tentative, so we might have to look another direction. That's not that good. We need somebody who wants to be the coach of the Atlanta Hawks. Bill Booth is here. He's really good, actually. B plus, A minus, and B plus. So we'll offer him a 2-year deal worth $4.5 million. And Bill Booth has accepted. Welcome to the coaching staff. Now I guess we can move on to the draft combine. You can kind of check out all the players here. Guys like Kostas Antetokounmpo out of North Carolina State. Pre-draft workouts. We could pretty much just... Let's move on to protecting our players so they cannot get drafted. I don't really know who I want to protect here. Luke Kennard and Costa. We're going to have to reset this all. I don't think I want to protect Blake Griffin, to be honest with you. I think if they want to take Blake, I'm really fine with that. I don't want to risk having to lose out on one of the young players that I really do like because we wanted to protect Blake Griffin, who I'm going to end up trading either way because he doesn't... I don't want him on this team anymore. He was pretty much there just to kind of help us elevate us to the playoffs, and he couldn't even do that. So I thank him for his time, but we are moving on. I don't think we need to protect Hazonia right now. Luke Kennard, Costa. Okay, so we either have to remove... Who should we remove? Should we move Hazonia? I think that's who we'll remove, and then we'll put on Costa. They can only take one player from us before... Or they can only take one player from us anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So now let's see who the Supersonics take, and they do take Blake Griffin with the number 1 overall pick. Emmanuel Akot, Davis Bertans, Ivan Rabb, Rdonis Krukas, Pascal Siakam, J.R. Swish is going to the Pittsburgh Force. Jared Sullinger to the Sonics. John Henson to the Sonics. Gorgie Dang, so some centers going off the board now. Now we can simulate all the way through because it really doesn't matter. Luol Deng, Brandon McCoy, Joakim Noah, Matthew Dellavedova. Some of the names that have been picked up by these teams. I mean, good luck with all these bad contract players. Going to find them now. Where are they at? Not in the S. There they are. Blake Griffin, John Henson, a lot of big men on this team. Dante Exum, the only guard, pretty much. Exum, Peters, White, Grayson Allen, Josh Hart, not a bad pickup. Way too many centers. And then you got Dellavedova, Frank Mason, Frank Jackson, J.R. Smith, Sedanius Thornwell. Yeah. Neither of those teams is going to be very good to start off, but at least those cities have some basketball teams back. So we have the 16th pick, and we can't trade it? That's ridiculous. Now I don't know what the hell we're going to do. See if we can move up the 7th round. No, for the 7th overall pick, they want Dennis Schroeder. Bogdanovich for Roberson and the 13th overall pick. I don't know. What should we do here? So we just decided to make the pick, and with our pick, 16th overall, we have selected Doug Wesley, power forward, out of Bradley. He can knock down some threes for us, and hopefully we can develop him into a decent backup power forward. Because it wasn't really the best draft class, but we got somebody who I think he's decent. 69 overall, nobody really better. 70 overall power forward, 71. I was thinking about AC Samuels, but I feel like Wesley had the most to offer us at this spot. So Cam Reddish, JB Kamen, Romeo Langford, some of the guys who have gone off the board, or who went off the board early. Now it's time for our team options and player options and whatnot. Right now, cap holds and player contracts, $7 million this year before player and team options are kind of all taken into account, and cap holds obviously as well. So I guess let's get into it. We're going to accept Collins, accept Dunn, accept Hazonia, I think, just to keep him on roster for now, see if we can develop him. Maybe even LeGerald Vick. I don't think we'll bring back Dwayne Bacon. And unfortunately, Omar Ashik has accepted his $12 million player option. I'm probably just going to try and trade him away for something, though, because I don't want him on the team at all. Quinn Cook, sorry. No qualifying offer, I don't think. For you, Quinn. See if another team will give you a contract. So, here we are. With all the players that we have, let's see if we can get rid of Omar Ashik. And I guess we did decide to keep pretty much everybody, including Dwayne Bacon. But now, let's see if we can trade Dwayne Bacon. A first-round pick. Wait, that's the first-round pick that we've already used. Like, why are teams looking for that first-round pick? I guess we'll just try and propose a trade or something involving Ashik. Maybe a team wants Dwayne Bacon. He's pretty young, only 23 years old. So you can see if we can get some value. I mean, I'll take a second-round pick in exchange for these two players, just to clear up some cap space, to be honest. Just has to come down to finding a team that doesn't have a lot of salary cap committed. The Kings might be an option here. Plus, they're a team dumb enough to do it. It's not like they get a big name free agent this year anyway, because they are terrible. So we will ask for your second round pick respectfully, and they have accepted. So maybe they plan to use Dwayne Bacon better than they would have used that second round pick, which is probably true, to be honest. So now we have $34 million clearing up that cap space. So that is definitely a good thing. Schroeder is our highest paid player. We have Bogdanovich, Hazonia, Porter, Dunn. A lot of young guys, so not too much salary cap committed. Nevertheless, let's see if we can get a Kyrie Irving. Could you imagine if we brought Kyrie to Atlanta, to hot Atlanta, to play with all these young stars in the making? And guys like DeAndre Ayton, Michael Porter Jr. Why would you not want to come here? This team has such a bright future. Karl Anthony Towns, he's a restricted. So is Devin Booker. Hassan Whiteside, 30 years old, and he's a center. Jimmy Buckets is a free agent. He made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals with some young guys last season. Let's see if we can bring Jimmy Buckets to hot Atlanta. Kemba Walker, he's available. Not sure how I feel about that, though. So, he does want a lot of money. Might be better off just finding a cheaper guy. Tyreek Evans did end up declining his player option, I see. Expecting more money now. Nerlens Noel, he wants $16 million. Jordan Bell, Ricky Rubio, for a 1-year contract to play backup point guard, or maybe even combine Rubio and I guess he wouldn't be the only backup point guard because we also have Chris Dunn, and we can this way we can mix up our guard rotation a lot, especially because we're about to get Jimmy Butler, whose points per game last year did go a little bit down, but he was shooting pretty efficiently, especially from the field. Nearly 50% from the field last year, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. One of the better defenders in the entire league in the prime of his career, 29 years old. Let's bring in Jimmy Butler. He goes from one young team that made the Western Conference Finals but got beaten 5. Now he can come back to the East, be an all-star, get a lot of shine with some more young guys. And we'll bring in, I think we could bring in Ricky Rubio here to be our backup playmaker, I guess, because Chris Dunn is more of a defender and even a decent scorer at this point in his career now, finally. But he's not really much of a playmaker still. Rubio, much better playmaker. We can get Jeremy Grant. We can get Rashawn Holmes. These are all the guys who we are going to end up signing to be backup power forward, backup center, another ball handler, and then a star. We now have a star in Jimmy Butler, ladies and gentlemen. So now we have Chris Dunn, Dennis Schroeder, and Ricky Rubio as our point guard room. I don't see what could go wrong with that. I mean, either Schroeder develops into a better playmaker or Dunn does because now they have Rubio on the roster. I mean, these guys all just do one thing extraordinarily well. Schroeder can score the ball, Rubio can pass, and Dunn can defend. We have Aiden and Holmes at the center position. At power forward, Collins and Grant. And then Wesley. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with him at this point. Maybe we send him to the G League. His potential isn't great, though. Only a C+. So, as there's an ice cream truck outside. That's nice. Anyway. It's going to be an interesting season with all these new talent on the team, really. We're going to have to see how it works out. Well, we're going to have to change the system. So now we have 3 training camps we can use on some of our players. I think it might be best to get some perimeter defense on maybe a Dennis Schroeder, who's only a C+. Maybe a Michael Porter Jr., another good option there. Costa Machete as well. Just some guys I would like to see develop a little bit better. Potential not as great as I would hope. So let's do it on Michael Porter Jr. Get his perimeter D up a little bit. Perimeter shooting now. Let's use that on Chris Dunn. He's a B-. With B potential. High basketball IQ though. maybe we just do untapped potential on Costa to get it started. Now he's got B potential, and now we'll do perimeter on, or no, big man offense. Let's do big man offense on DeAndre Ayton. Just absolutely keep developing him as a beast of a center. So now we can move on to the next season. And this team is looking good. Gotta admit. Definitely excited to see this team put in some work to start off this season. Here is a full look at our guys. Don't really know what we're going to do with them all. I can probably set all the rotations up next time. So that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you everybody so much for watching. As always, make sure you absolutely wreck that like and subscribe button. I will see you beautiful people all next time. Make sure you stay tuned for episode number 14 coming out shortly. Peace.